In this video, we're going to talk about what you need to get ready for a tournament, what you need to take, the ultimate package. So, Stephen, let's get writing a list. Tell me what we need.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need is our painted army. Now, obviously, what I would have done is made sure that that army is spec'd out to the right point size. So if we're playing a 2,000 point tournament, I'm going to bring a 2,000 point painted army. I'm going to try and paint it to the best of my ability. And I've got the army.
Okay.
You also know it's on a tray.
Yes.
Now, the tray is also really, really important because what the tray allows us to do is from game to game, actually transport our models around really easily. It was a mistake I definitely made by not having a tray to the first tournament where I had to keep putting it into the foam every time models would die. Then I tried to get it out of the foam and it just took forever. So models on the table or on the tray, super easy.
Okay, very nice. What's next?
Okay, well, you're going to need, obviously, some dice.
Right.
You're going to need a good handful of dice to make sure that you can roll enough for the amount of attacks that you have.
Okay.
So if one of your units has 30 attacks, bring 30 dice. It's going to make your life a lot easier so you can roll them all together.
Yeah, nice.
We've also got some different coloured dice.
Okay.
And these are really important to make sure they're very different to the normal rolling set. And this set of dice you could use for wound counters, how many command points you have, or tracking any other sort of numbered based, what turn it is, so that they do not get rolled. So they know they're completely different to your normal set of dice.
Right, fantastic.
One more note on that, try not to make sure they're weighted, okay? That's not cool.
No weighted dice here. Thank you. Thank you. I will also say that try and ensure that if you've got symbols on the dice, they're all on the same side, the right side, which will ideally be the 6.
Yeah.
And they're very clear.
Yeah.
There are some dice out there with very confusing markings on them. This is what we want.
Dice are not just for you, they're also for your opponent. And in fact, your dice are probably more important for your opponent to see what you're rolling than what you are. So make sure that it is really, really clear. And if somebody says, oh, I'm really struggling to see them, you know, they might have be partial sighted, they could be colorblind, there could be lots of different reasons why they're struggling to see them. Use an alternative set or, you know, offer to use theirs if that's something they would prefer, okay? Don't be precious about it. As soon as you do, then you're starting to get a bit weird with dice. They should just be a random number and there should be no kind of stigma around them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've got our dice, we've got our army, we've got a tray. What's next?
Tape measure. And I would obviously probably bring 2.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because I've often been at a tournament and snapped it, the ends come off and I've lost the tape measure. So try to bring 2 tape measures.
Okay, very nice. And then?
We've got objective markers.
Objective markers, okay.
So objective markers, you've got the 40mm size in the middle, but these neoprene ones, Vanguard Tactics ones, also show you the objective range. I know in Age of Sigmar, it's a little bit bigger, it's 6 inches. So again, just to help you and your opponent visually know who's on the objective and who's not. And that's going to help you so much throughout the game.
Yeah, and if you don't have those, any kind of marker that's 40 mils wide is
Poker
good.
chips.
Poker chips or any of those bases that maybe your Terminators come on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Bright and clear, make sure they're obvious as to where they are. Next up, you're also going to need your army rules.
Right.
Okay. This isn't, again, just for you, but it's also for your opponent. If they have a question, hey, no worries, it's on page X. There you go. You can check it out for yourself, okay?
Fantastic.
This is a document that you can both share, all right? If you are using, for example, the Games Workshop app, not all of the rules are on there. So make sure you bring a copy of your rules. And if your opponent challenges you on a rule and you don't have it, I'd be inclined to go with what your opponent says because you've got no proof as to that's how the rule is played. So bring your army rulebook.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so we've also got cards. And obviously in Warhammer, we use, for example, the tactical deck. This has got the missions on there, you know, the ability to score different mission cards. So if you are relying on any sort of other elements, make sure you bring them. Don't rely on your opponent. It's also just quite rude. So just do bring your own. We've also got a notepad and pen. So you can keep track of your and your opponent's score, okay? If you leave it just to your opponent and they might, for example, miss something of yours, you might feel like, oh, actually, I scored these points back then and you didn't note it down, so how do you really know? So make sure you keep a notebook and just track your scores when you score what.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
You're also going to need your phone.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because you're going to need the app Best Coast pairings normally. There are others out there as well. And basically what this is the system that most tournaments use to help find your table, who you're playing, where you're going to upload your list onto, and also make sure you've got plenty of battery. And if you're using the Games Workshop app for all your army list stuff, again, have that so it's easily shown to your opponent. This is what's in my army list. Let me talk you through what I have. And the models here should match the models that you've listed.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
So this is all like rules-based and miniature-based and what we might need in the game.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we might need?
Keep hydrated. And I'd also say bring some healthy snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, try not to get too inebriated. It's not going to help your gameplay in any way. Make sure you're staying as hydrated as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And, you know, a really, really simple tip for hydration, drink enough water so that you can pass clear urine throughout the day, okay? And if you can do that before midday and your urine's clear, then you actually know you're pretty well hydrated. As soon as it starts to be like a more yellow or brown color, then unfortunately you will start to feel the effects of dehydration, headaches, lack of performance, lack of focus. It's not great. You want to, you know, spend loads of time playing your army, so make sure you can do that at the best of your ability. Staying hydrated and eating healthy foods that you know you feel great on is going to be certainly one way to help you there.
Okay, fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic.
One last thing.
What's that?
How we get our army there. Now, this is a question I get all the time. This is a bag from Frontline Gaming, and this is something that is suitable to travel on a plane.
Okay.
So make sure the dimensions are right for your hand luggage if you are going on an international flight to the tournament. And inside here, we have loads of foam trays, okay? So this allows us to cut out certain gaps and to put our models in so that they fit nicely and they don't bang any other models. There's different layers. So you could have smaller models, larger models, and then even bigger models.
Very nice.
So you pluck out the foam, you put it in your bag with the tray and your books. Everything goes in here and you should be pretty much good to go.
Okay, fantastic. Do you think there's anything else that we might have forgotten for anybody looking to travel to a tournament?
Well, if you go to a hot country, maybe some sun cream, Michael.
Yes, that's a good one.
But no, the most important thing is that you have a big smile on your face, you focus on being a great opponent, and if you play for an awesome team like Vanguard Tactics, make sure you bring your shirt. I forgot mine today. And we'll see you on another video.